It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers, they get the win tonight by a final score of 6-1. The big story tonight is Mookie Betts. Tonight's the night we stop calling him Marcus and start calling him Mookie once again. He hits 2 bombs tonight, breaks out in a big way. Max Muncy had a big night. Julio Urias, he battled the bullpen. They shined once again. Evan Phillips, he was dirty with that filthy slider. I'm going to break down this entire game, but first, who is your player of the game? I think that one's pretty easy. Max Muncy had a really nice night. We're going to break it all down, but Mookie Betts, he is the story tonight. Mookie is back, and look, like I've been saying, Mookie is a slow starter. You did have a short spring training, and now we're at the point where the season really should be starting when you look at a regular spring training, and Mookie Betts, he looked like the player that signed a 12-year, $365 million deal. And you talk about the at-bat before the home run, the walk he drew in the third inning. He looked more locked in against Martinez there. And then we're going to talk about his home run. So the 20th multi-home run game of his career. But first and foremost, let me know where you're rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Give me your city. Give me your zip code. Where you're repping Dodgers Nation from tonight. You know how we get down here. I want to know, and I want all your fire takes. Bring those fire takes down below in the comment section. How do you feel about Mookie Betts? Is he back after tonight? He goes 2 for 3, 2 solo shots, scores 3 runs, and heading into tonight's action, Mookie Betts had just 2 extra base hits on the year, 2 doubles, and he was hitting 178, not hitting the ball very hard, but I want to get right into your comments. Let's get right to it. So Calvin T, repping from Lancaster, go Mookie. We got 321 Melbourne, Florida. What's up, Deborah Young? Mookie is back, baby. That's from Quack the Doug. Yeah, Mookie living his Betts life tonight in San Diego. 3 runs. How about the stolen base he had and the 2 walks? So Mookie Betts reaching base 4 times. And really, this season, he just hasn't looked comfortable at the plate. He was chasing pitches outside the zone at times. He was taking fastballs that we've seen him drive. And you just see his brain just thinking too much at the plate. Just overthinking a lot at the plate. And tonight, you saw he just kind of let it fly. You saw when after he hit that home run, he just had that sigh of relief. And I think that was very telling from Mookie Betts. The fact that he was able to just kind of release and just say, hey, I got my first bomb of the season. Now let's get it going. And it was some very promising stuff tonight from Mookie because, look, he is the leader of this team. And you just could feel the energy in that Dodgers dugout because when he gets it going, he has a very infectious energy. He's got that $1 million megawatt Mookie smile, that $365 million Mookie smile. And you saw when he went up to hug hitting coach Aaron Bates, just kind of hugs him, kind of just has that smile, kind of just exhales a little bit. And first of all, is Aaron Bates the new DH, the new designated hugger, taking over from Albert Pujols last season, our Theo. But let's get back into your takes, guys. Bloomington in the house. We got Ryan. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to hit that notification bell and smash that like button, guys. Like I said, I'm the man, the fan. This is your show. I'm just hosting it. And I want all your takes down below. If you're watching on Twitter, be sure to retweet. What up, Monster? What's up, Doug? Mookie Monster from Ryan. We got Mookie Betts. We got a W. Bellinger digging dirt. But we won. That's from Efren over on Facebook. Jonathan, told you I wasn't worried about Mookie. You did say that, Jonathan. Hey, you're right. Look, Mookie Betts, like I've been saying too, look, the talent is there. Of course, this guy is one of the best players in the league, and he has been for quite some time. The only question is, when was he going to break out? And the concern for me was the lack of hard contact, the lack of barrels that we've seen from Mookie early on this season. But we had played just a very small sample size, so you knew at some point he was going to get it going. You just kind of worry after last year how he's doing physically, and as long as he's healthy, he's going to produce, and he's going to figure things out at the play. And like I said, just from a mental aspect too, just seeing the ball better, just attacking fastballs that we know he can drive. And tonight that Martinez, the first home run off Martinez there, That was a little cutter that kind of hang, but a nice job bringing his hands in there to get his bat on the ball and get that thing into the upper deck. It was an upper deck shot, 420 feet from Mookie Betts. And like I said, we're going to say Mookie, Mookie, Mookie all night because we've said here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show, we're going to call him Marcus until he started playing like Mookie. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's safe that we can call him Mookie once again. But here, back to the comments section. Iris K. What up, Iris? Always rocking with us on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mookie. I was wrong to worry. Hey, look, like I always say, my old coach says, hey, it takes more than one game to get into a slump, and it takes more than one game to get out of a slump. But the fact that he goes deep twice, gets those 2 walks, and like I said, I really like the at-bat from Mookie there in the top of the third. To get that leadoff walk, and they get some gifts from home plate umpire there, but to take that walk and to steal second, and then you had Freddie Freeman draw that walk, back-to-back walks to start the third. The Dodgers actually 5 walks off Martinez, but weren't able to capitalize. This game could have actually been a bigger rout than it actually was had the Dodgers been able to score more runs than they did. And we are going, I like that, the fake Drays. I've heard all the Padres. I mean, I call them, the bodies, we body slam Diego, the fraud Drays, but I like that. The fake Drays are overrated from Shady A. Kelly. I have to admit, it kind of made me a little sad to see Fernando Tatis Jr. in that Padres dugout. It'd be nice to see him in the Dodgers dugout maybe in a couple years. You never know. But to see him out there, you can tell you want to be in there. You can know he's a gamer and just have that same energy, that same feel. I'm like, hey, after Mookie had that second home run, I'm thinking, hey, maybe Mookie could get a curtain call on the road or something like that, because based on the reactions from the TV, it felt like there was a lot of Dodger fans there. It was a sea of blue down in San Diego. You guys know I've always called it the Dodgers Beach House down there at Petco Park. And to me, I don't think it's a rivalry. I think that it'll only become a rivalry if the Padres change their names to the San Francisco Giants and their colors to orange and black. We know that's not going to happen, right? So here we go. And just look at this. The Dodgers, they've now won 10 in a row against the San Diego Padres. And, 10 in a row against the San Diego Padres, and they've outscored them 58-23 in that stretch. So last year, if you remember, a lot of people were worried because the Padres, they started 7-5 against the Dodgers last year. The Dodgers were 5-7 to start the year, and we were worried, hey, maybe this will be the first time since 2010 that the Dodgers don't win the season series. But hey, the Dodgers were able to prevail last year, and they haven't lost a season series to San Diego since 2010. Their record is 139-78 in that stretch, and now they're 68-41 at Petco Park in that stretch. So look, I hear all this talk. Oh, maybe the Padres and the Dodgers is the rivalry of the future. Well, first the Padres have to win something that the Dodgers won. Maybe win a division, maybe win a season series, and maybe we'll talk. And you would have to do that for an extended period of time to even have me consider calling it a rivalry. I'm not going to use the R word when it comes to the Padres and the Dodgers. Like I said, if they want to change their team colors to orange and black instead of UPS gold and brown, which to me is kind of unfair because UPS delivers, the Padres don't always, so I don't think that's fair either. So look, I mean, to me, the Padres, look, they have an energized fan base since having some success over the last few years, but I think that's still a ways away to consider this a rivalry. But let me ask you guys down below in the comment section, do you consider this a rivalry? And then also, I'm going to get your player of the games. We got rapid fire around here. We got Yolanda Rodriguez, Santa Maria, California. John over on YouTube from Visalia 559. Shout out to my mom. She's living there these days. Danny Cortez, Padres fans suck. By the way, did you guys see, was that I don't know, I didn't get I was going to record and kind of zoom in. Did a Padres fan throw something at Cody Bellinger? I kind of want to look back and see that. So we're going to talk about the Padres fans. And where was that Padres fan that gave the finger last year? It's probably not a good night for him. But Anthony Keene, a day one here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I always appreciate you rocking with us, my man. Holding down the 90249 in the 94577. Always repping LA. Slump is done. That's from David. So do you guys think the slump for Mookie Betts is over? You think he's going to take off and just hit the ground running and use this momentum to having an all-star season, maybe even an MVP caliber season? Iris K from Studio City, California. Yvonne, Mookie is back. Verdell Newsom over on Facebook. Urias has found his groove the last 2 games. And Mookie and Mookie has woken up. Yeah, I thought Julio Urias, save for Julio Urias tonight, 5 innings pitched, allowed 1 earned run on 2 hits, had 6 punch-outs, 75 pitches for Julio Urias, 47 for strikes, 8 for 20 on first pitch strikes, 10 swings and misses, and those 2 hits, gives up just 2 hits tonight. Those 2 hits were hit pretty hard, 112 off the bat from Hosmer, and that other hit by Manny Machado. But I think that, save for the second inning where he throws those 26 pitches, I like the way he battled tonight. I don't think he's all the way there, but I think that when he has the command of that fastball and he's working that changeup, I think I did a really nice job getting some chase outside of the zone there. When especially in the at bat, when the bottom of the fourth, he gets Profar to chase a changeup out of the zone. You saw the at bat with Manny Machado in the 5th inning, getting Machado to chase that changeup outside of the zone and setting it up with a fastball where he was hitting his target. I think when it comes to Julio Urias, it's about attacking the zone with his heater. When he's doing that, you're seeing that slurve and you're seeing that changeup have more success. Because so far this season, opponents are hitting 444 off his slurve, curve, and that's really been a money pitch for him. And the Dodgers, when Julio Urias is on the mound, they're 28-7 when Urias pitches. 28-7 dating back to last season. So when he's on the mound, it's winner, winner, chicken dinner, and you love to see it. Because I always said at this point in the season, I mean, you might be able to make the case that Urias is truly the Urias. You know, that's what I call him here on this show, and I like what I'm seeing. And, like I said, save for that second inning there. And he goes out there and he starts the game, 9 pitches in the first, and then 26 pitches in the second. And we're going to break that down, but I want to get some more of your comments. It's Friday night here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Like I said, we're doing double, triple the amount of postgame shows this year, and it's all thanks to you guys because the show has, you guys bring it on this show. You guys bring those fire takes. So like I said, if you're new to the show, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button, drop your takes down below, and also hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. They canceled, I love this King Yellow Man, they canceled the parade in San Diego. So they canceled the parade in San Diego. I'm sure if they had won tonight, hey, they did score a run. You never know. Padres fans, they might even have a parade just by scoring that run tonight. So you never know. But Machado is getting so frustrated. That's from Lopez over on YouTube. We got, is this the end of Mookie's slump from Samuel Kim? Dodger Stadium South. I like that from SX Envy over on YouTube. We got 10 in a row. Yep, 10 in a row. We got that's from Quack the Duck over on YouTube. Anthony King, shout out to the Dodgers fans holding it down in Dodger Stadium South, a.k.a. Dodgers Park. I like that. I be stroking, and they think it's a rivalry. We got a great win for LA from Joanna over on YouTube. Mitchell Hopkins, to be honest, I'm still a little concerned about Mookie. One great game is good, don't get me wrong, but he needs to string together a couple of good games to really get out of the slump. Yeah, I think for him to really lock in, you're going to want to see a nice string of games like you said. And like I said, it takes more than one game to get into a slump and more than one game to get out of a slump. But when you consider the fact that he didn't hit just 1 home run tonight, he hit 2 home runs tonight. His 20th multi-home run game of his career. And then the fact that he had those walks tonight. I think that you look at his overall line tonight, Mookie Betts, if you check out the box score, he goes 2 for 3, 2 RBIs and 2 walks. He's past the Mendoza line now. He's hitting .208 on the season. Freddie Freeman goes 2 for 4. Trey Turner, he goes 1 for 5. He legged out that infield single and was able to extend his on-base streak to 32 games. That's dating all the way back to September 12th last season. He has an OPS of 1,025 during that streak, and he's had a hit in 57 of 6. Trey Turner has had a hit in 57 of his 65 games with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So all day Trey, that's what he does. He produces, and he extends that streak. Justin Turner, he's still slumping, goes 0 for 3 tonight. But the other guy we have to talk about, another guy that might get lost in Mookie Betts' big night, is Max Muncy. Because the funky Muncy, he's another guy that got out of his funk tonight, or so it appears. Because Muncy, he was really going through it. He was 2 for his last 22. Tonight, Max Muncy goes 2 for 3 with 2 walks, Also, 3 RBIs, had that big bomb. We're going to talk about his big night as well. How you guys feeling about Max Muncy? Because I think that's equally as big as Mookie Betts having a big night. Because look, Max Muncy, he's been the Dodgers' biggest bopper. He's been their thunder. He's had more home runs than anyone on the team since he joined back in 2018. So they rely on Max Muncy to be that slugger, and tonight he gets that big bomb. But let's look at that second inning tonight. So starting with Julio Urias. I want to talk about his outing as well, but let's jump into these comments. UPS delivers. The Padres don't quote the night from Jonathan Moore. And hey, man, heck no, it's not a rivalry from Anthony Keene. David Levinson. Is there anyone that thinks it's a rivalry? Because look, like I said, the cool thing about this show is we can disagree on stuff, and it's all good. It's not one of those shows where I just want us to all have an echo chamber and all think the same thing. I like to have different opinions because you guys bring some stuff that makes me think differently about different topics. So maybe you can sway my opinion. But thoughts on we got absolutely not. They're the team to beat last season and choked hard. That's from David Levinson. We got Mookie, Dev player of the game. Yeah, I mean, Mookie definitely player of the game, no question about it. But when you look at the fact that Max Muncy was able to help him tack on those runs later in the game, we're going to talk about that at bat in just a second. I think, you can make the case that Max Muncy getting his second home run of the year is also just a real bright spot of this game. But here we go. We got bum bum ba-dum bum. All right, lost you guys. There we go. I think Ryan W. I think he may just been throwing it on the field. They threw a beer can. Okay, Padres are a joke. Deborah Young, yes, they threw a can on the field. Machado getting so frustrated from Lopez. Yeah, I think it's time for Manny Machado to pay most of that $300 million. Thoughts on who's pitching tomorrow? Hey, I think Tyler Anderson, he's going to be solid. And you Darvish, you never know what you're going to get. Are you going to get dominant you Darvish, or are the Dodgers going to knock him out of the game early on? But I think Tyler Anderson, what he's been able to do so far early on this season has been very impressive. And the fact that he's not just going to miss a beat because he's going to slide into that starter's role, a role that he's been more than familiar with. And so far this year, Tyler Anderson, a 2.25 ERA, a .50 whip, 8 strikeouts, and 8 innings pitched. So Tyler Anderson's a guy that he can miss bats in the zone. He can get hitters to chase, and he can induce that soft contact. So I think Tyler Anderson's going to go out. He's going to perform well as a starter for the Dodgers. Max Muncy was raking tonight. We got Raf from Deborah over on YouTube. Raphael, drink a beer and cheers to the Dodgers. I'm definitely going to crack open a beer after this one. 44 people. We got Jonathan Morin. They riding in San Diego after that run. How Mookie got his groove back from Abraham. We are so happy. It's crazy. Shout out to Vesia. Yeah, Alex Vesia is just crazy. You see that leg kick he did when he was going back to show the ump his glove? That thing really made me laugh. Anthony Keene, love this roster. It's relentless. Players can have a bad game and not have the weight of the season on their shoulders. And that's from Anthony Keene. I think that's a fantastic point. I think that's one of the reasons why you've seen Cody Bellinger kind of eased into having a nice start to this season. You've seen Mookie Betts and Max Muncy have some frustrating games early on, go through a slump early on, but you've got guys like Freddie Freeman and Trey Turner, Gavin Lux, guys up and down this lineup that can pick up the slack. So I think that it's going to take the pressure off a lot of these guys as the season goes along, because it is a long season. We're talking about a 162-game season, and baseball is always going to baseball. If you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, 30% of the time, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. They might have a statue of you somewhere on this planet. So the fact that you have guys that can pick up the slack and allow guys to kind of get through slumps and the ebbs and flows of a season is going to be big. And I definitely think, Anthony, that definitely is a factor when it comes to Mookie and Muncy kind of getting out of this slump, because they can trust other guys in the lineup to get it done. But pay Trey, Daniel DeLeon. Hey, like I always say, when he extends his hitting streak, can we extend Trey Turner? Because he was a tremendous trade. And I think that when you see a guy, a true five-tool player, a guy that's so dynamic out there, that defensively, we're going to talk about that double play that kind of had a tough time getting out. there early in the game, but defensively, the way he can change the games on the base pass, the way he can hit for contact, and he's also a very durable player. I'm definitely in favor of paying Trey, as you said. Dan Muncy finally connected. That's from King Yellowman. Phillips throwing fire. Yeah, I mean, Moose, appreciate you, my man. Much love, D-Mac. Appreciate you being the best Dodgers postgame show. I appreciate you, Moose 1032. You the man. I really appreciate that. Probably going to get some carne asada fries and maybe some Zimas. No, I'll get some Modelo's. But I appreciate you, man. You are the man, Moose. I really appreciate it. Jonathan, Max Muncy look great. Max Muncy always getting on base. Yeah, Max Muncy, he's a guy that's not going to expand the strike zone. He has such an uncanny ability to know the borderline pitches, to know what to swing at, to know not to offer at pitches outside of the zone. And we saw that early on the season last year and throughout. Kind of got a little bit away from that when he started to slump after the All-Star break. But for the most part, definitely one of the most disciplined hitters in all of Major League Baseball. But let's start to break this game down, starting with the bottom of the second inning. I want to talk about that inning with Julio Urias. Do you guys think, here's a question I have for you guys, do you think that Julio Urias is the ace of the staff right now? After what we've seen with Walker Buehler, hasn't looked like Walker Buehler. You're not seeing him pumping 98, 99, 100-mile-per-hour fastballs anymore. You're not seeing that crazy, crazy spin rate. Not saying he was a sticky stuff merchant or anything like that, but Walker Buehler early on this season hasn't looked like that lights-out ace that just goes out there and dominates. He's a different pitcher, relying on a lot of those secondary pitches, which is okay, and you're seeing more use of that cutter, of that knuckle curve, some changeup. But I ask you this question, is Julio Urias the Urias of the staff right now? Let me know down below. Francisco, hey, D-Mac, Padres. Hey, what up, Francisco? Vesia got one guy, and he got so pumped up. Yang Yi, hey, man, Alex Vesia, I'm telling you, man, I've talked to him a couple times, and he's an interesting dude. In the clubhouse, you go up to him, soft-spoken, humble guy, and then you let him loose on the mound, and that fire comes out, that Super Mario. It's like he gets the Super Mario flower, and he just goes crazy with it, and you love to see that passion and that fire, because here, I'm extremely for it, as long as you're doing your thing. You're starting to see that electricity on that fastball tonight, too. And we're going to talk about some Vesia. I think the Padres signed big-name players in the media, and this is from Dice Dark 19 over on YouTube. I think since the Padres signed big-name players and the media had projected them in the past to overtake the Dodgers, it seemed like a rivalry, though not like the Giants. It still feels good. Yeah, it kind of feels good. It definitely does. I mean, there's definitely a different intensity. I think a lot of the rivalry, if you want to call it that, or the tension has to do with the fan bases, the Padres fans versus the Dodger fans, and more so on kind of the results on the field. Because look, I mean, what happened in 2020? The Dodgers, Fernando Tatis Jr., Cody Bellinger, he robs him. The Dodgers win that series. So until the Padres take something from the Dodgers, then to me, you can't even consider calling it a rivalry at this point. Back, a great win from Blue Magic. We got Craig Osterberg. What up, Craig? Freddie didn't even hit tonight, and the Dodgers still dominate. Well, look, Freddie Freeman actually, that's how effortless it can look like for Freddie Freeman, because Freddie Freeman is such a fantastic hitter. He actually raised his average up to 346. That's a team-leading 346, and Freddie franchise Freeman, he goes 2 for 4 tonight. By the way, Anthony Kane, Fredericks of Hollywood, right? He goes 2 for 4 tonight, had a walk, and he did some nice things too. So we'll talk about Freddie's night, but everyone freaking out about Mookie. Yeah, I do think a little premature. We got Roger Kennard. Yes, it's a damn rivalry. And here we go. I like that. Yes, it's a damn rivalry, and you can't convince me otherwise. Let's go Dodgers. Roger, the Los Angeles Dodger. You saying that, Roger, definitely means something to me, because you know your boys in blue just about as good as everyone. If you feel like it's a rivalry, hey, it's a rivalry too, right? Do we really lead the NL in stolen bases? Will A, we absolutely do, and that is a big change for the Dodgers this season, is the fact that's clearly something that was a tactical choice in the offseason. The Dodgers wanting to be more aggressive on the base pass, and when you consider how much athleticism they have up and down this lineup, you have the fastest guy in the league, Sonic the Hedgehog himself, Trey Turner, on the base pass. You know that you want to take advantage of that. Also, Mookie Betts, he's a player that he knows how to steal bases. How about Cody Bellinger and Gavin Gavin Lux. There's a lot of athleticism on this team, and the Dodgers, they're putting it to good use. This year, the Dodgers 13 stolen bases on the year. That doesn't just lead the National League, that leads all of Major League Baseball. So the Dodgers getting it done on the base pass. They're tops in the league right now, 13th. Last season, the Dodgers, they were 17th in all of Major League Baseball in stolen bases with 65. So that's clearly a different approach this year. They want to give themselves more opportunities to score runs, and they've been doing just that, leading the league in that category. But here we go. Phillips is filthy. Yeah, Gary A., like I always say, when Phillips is on the mound, you're probably screwed, if you know what I'm saying. Because I think when it comes to Evan Phillips, you've seen an increase in his velocity, and you're seeing that backup slider having a lot of success with it. And at this point, I really think that Zima, and I'm just playing Zima, I never even tried a Zima. Apparently it makes you stick to the ceiling. Last year as a Dodger, Ryan, you're the best to hear after game. Doug. Hey, appreciate you, Ryan. You guys, I like hearing from you guys. I like all your takes, man. Your takes are fire. You guys bring all those fire takes, and you guys know it. But here we go. So bottom of the second inning, Voit pops out to first. By the way, Voigt's stance, I don't know, man. The big cowboy up the leg. It's always just kind of like it makes me feel some type of way. But here, I want this hot take. If you have a hot take, throw in those fire emojis so I see it. Joanna Garcia, hot take. Belly will be the best Dodger this year. Joanna, you even went past me with your hot take. Because what I say before the season, I predicted Cody Bellinger would be the comeback player of the year. You know that I've been a Belly even for quite some time, but you're saying that he's going to be better than Mookie Betts, than Trey Turner, than Will Smith, than Justin Turner, than Max Muncy, than Chris Taylor. That is a very, very bold prediction there. I think he's going to have a really nice year. I don't think he's going to be the best player on the Dodgers. To me, I think at the end of the day, that's going to be Trey Turner. At this point, that could be Mookie Betts. That could be Freddie Freeman, because Freddie Freeman, he was stringing lots of hits together early on the year, but now Freddie Freeman, you're seeing him start to slug. And we saw that in the series against the Atlanta Braves. So I think that you really can pick your poison when it comes to this team. But so far this year, I think early on, you have to go with Freddie Freeman. Because Freddie, an OPS of an 1177 OPS, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. And, Freddie Freeman, just a fantastic player. But Mookie Betts, all of a sudden, turns it on, 2 home runs, and you're so early in the year that a few good games and all your numbers can just flip-flop and go upside down. So how about Phillips looking good? You guys want to talk about him? Still wondering about Bauer, Crickets, Jonathan Moore. And yeah, I think we all are. I think that you're not the only one out there. I think no matter how you feel about Trevor Bauer, I think you want a resolution when it comes to Trevor Bauer. You want to know if he's going to be suspended. What will the Dodgers do if he gets suspended? Is the ball going to be in their court as far as discipline? So I think that we all want answers, and I'll be honest with you, I've talked to a lot of people around, and there's just not a lot of clarity when it comes to Trevor Bauer, and really it's all about Major League Baseball and the powers that be in New York, the Rob Manfreds of the world, to really come down and see and make their decision. At this point, I think it's long overdue. But I see you, Yubby Stogan. Love this shirt, D-Mac, Andrew G. Yeah, I have to go with my man, Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Appreciate you. But here we go. Manchado looking. What's more likely to happen? Mookie bat 300 or Bull of 300? I like that, Mike. Well, the fact that last time he bat 300 was in 2018. I believe I read in Sports Illustrated that he's thrown 13 perfect games, 13 300. So at this point, that's a really, really good question. A one-sided rivalry. But I think that it's more likely that he'll hit 300 if he can get healthy. But never did I think the day Rise from Ryan over on Facebook. Never did I think I'd see the day where we were leading the league in stolen bases. Yeah, you have to look at your talent. I think that if you look at the great teams, not even just around the league, around sports, Bill Belichick. Look at Bill Belichick and the Patriots. You're always game planning based on your personnel. Greg Popovich. All the great teams, all the great coaches are open to different strategies based on your personnel. And when you have a Trey Turner, Gavin Lux is in the 94th percentile in sprint speed. We know Cody Bellinger is athletic. We know Chris Taylor is athletic. When you have guys that are this athletic and have this much speed on the base pass, you have to utilize it. It's like money that you're not spending. You have to cash in. But here we go. Everyone in the West is a rivalry from Brett. I like that. You're like, hey, everyone is an enemy. Everyone is the rivalry. I like that. But bottom of the second inning, Voit pops the first for the first out. And then Julio, he falls behind 3-0 to Profar. He walks in, misses high. First base runner of the night for the Padres. And then first pitch to Hosmer. He hits a rocket off the bat that bounces off the wall. And he hit it a little too hard because it goes as a single. And then Profar, he holds up at third, giving the Padres runners on the corners with one out. He scorched it 112.1 miles per hour off the bat. And then Myers hits a chopper to short. Trey fields it. They try to turn two. Trey kind of has a little difficulty getting out of his glove to turn two, and they get Hosmer at second, but they can't turn it. Profar scores on the play, making it 1-0 Padres. Padres, they strike first blood. And then Kim walks, giving the Padres runners on first and second, and Grisham at the plate. And then on a 1-2 count, Urias strikes out Grisham looking on a pitch that was a little off the plate, but Grisham gets rung up to end the inning. So after that 9-pitch first from Urias, 26 in the second, but just one run, and they didn't do much damage. And I thought coming back there, attacking Grisham, finding a way to get him to get that punch out there, that was massive. And the 2 walks didn't burn him as much in Trey Turner. That's a play that they're going to be able to turn at some point in the year. And then top of the third inning, Mookie Betts, he takes a leadoff walk. Dodgers get a gift. He steals second. Freddie Freeman walks. Back-to-back walks to start the second for L.A. And then on an 0-2 pitch, Trey Turner, he goes down swinging on a changeup. So Martinez, nice changeup. Had that depth to it. Great tunneling on that changeup tonight. And he was looking for that fastball. He goes with the changeup and had, that, like I said, really nice depth, and he goes down swinging. Then Muncie, he takes ball 4. Martinez walks the bases loaded with one out. And then on a 2-1 pitch for Martinez, Justin Turner, he grounds into a double play. A little sinker bottom of the zone, induced that ground ball that he needed. He gets the pitcher's best friend, and he escapes that inning with no damage done. So like I said, the Dodgers, they had a chance to really get up early, and they couldn't capitalize against Martinez that was having issues issuing free passes. But back into this chat right here, and we'll keep breaking down this game. Iris K, I love that I'm really liking Phillips and Hudson. That's from Rebecca. Iris K, love that Trey is not the only one running. Yeah, Iris K, like I said, yeah, Trey Turner, he gets a lot of pub for his speed, but there's other fast guys on this team. But Machado, David P, what the hell? It's not Urias team, it's Kershaw. So you still think Clayton Kershaw, hey man, Clayton Kershaw has looked really good to start this season. I'm fine with that. But Strider, hear you over on YouTube. DMAC Mookie Betts loves the Padres, 2 homers. Hopefully that gets him going. 1 homer of a hanging changeup and then a fastball later on. I hope he gets it going too. Yeah, and if you remember too, his 3 home run game was against San Diego back in 2020. Too bad we didn't see the Beatty showdown tonight. Yeah, Beatty, he's gone off to a slow start. One for his first 14, 5 strikeouts, and yeah, you saw Dave Roberts. He got right out of that dugout and was like, hey, I'm going to play the matchup there. And they go with Vesia, and he gets taken out of the game. So Freddie for MVP. Dodgers trying to get a name to Dodger Stadium. Dodgers need the money to extend Trey from Mr. Classic. Yeah, I actually mentioned something about that in the video I'm dropping tomorrow on the Dodgers naming rights of their sleeve and of their stadium. But the Dodgers starters, the Dodgers start should have been like this last year, if not for the injuries. What could have been? I mean, the Dodgers actually started really good, but it was after that start that they dropped 15 of 20 and they kind of started to slide. But Hannibal Hector, sub DMAC, so stoked for the Mookie Monster to go yard twice tonight. Yeah, I think that all of Dodgers Nation is feeling really good because, look, no one wants to hear any talk about, oh, is Mookie Best going to be Mookie Bust or Dookie Best or Mookie Butts. I've heard a lot of names out there. You guys slandering my man. You guys know I would never say that. I think we all agree that we're going to call him Marcus until he played like Mookie. And I think you don't want to hear fans saying, oh, that's $365 million contract is going to be an albatross of a contract that's not going to age well, that it's going to age like guacamole in the sun or something like that. But no, Mookie Betts is too talented, and he's been too good for too long. That's why you got to trust the talent. When players, look, like a lot of these players, they're not going to be a flash in the pan. They're going to be a one-year wonder. When you strung together multiple years of success, you know the talent is there. And also, you can trust Mookie Betts' work ethic. I mean, no one works harder than Mookie Betts, and I can I can tell you that firsthand, that no one works harder than Mookie Betts. You see him grinding out there, and he puts in the work. But I like this from EB. Lux reminds me of Brandon Ingram from the Lakers. LeBron got hurt, and that was his time to shine, and he didn't. That's why they traded him, and then he shined when he left the Lakers. Interesting, but I'm hoping they don't trade Gavin Lux because he's under team control until 2027, and I think he has a chance to be an all-star player for the Dodgers. Doug on fire, like, oh, thanks, Jonathan. Hey, man, you guys give me life out there. Talking Dodger baseball. And, hey, it's exciting to beat the Padres. It's exciting to have Mookie Betts break out of that slump. But let's jump to the top of the fifth inning. So on a 2-1 count, Mookie cranks a Martinez cutter to the upper deck for his first Betts blast of the season. That ties things up at 1. A little cut fastball there, kind of leaks into the inner half of the plate. Mookie gets his hands in, punishes that hanging cutter, goes 420 feet, an upper deck shot for Marcus Lynn Betts, and then that ties things up at 1. And then Freddie Freeman, he lines to right for the first out. Then Trey Turner, he fouls one off his foot, kind of right off his toe there. I was a little concerned, but he was fine. He grounds to third. A really nice play there by Manny Machado. He was right there deep, and a nice pick there by Hosmer as well. Throw was right on the money. That's for the second out. And then this is something I want to discuss too, because Max Muncy, he's up next. And yet Martinez, over 100 pitches. Bob Melvin, he elects to leave Martinez in the game. And then Muncie, he gets his second bomb of the year. Dodgers get their second home run of the inning. 102 pitches for Martinez. And you saw when you're out there early on the season, a lot of guys not fully built up. You're over that 100-pitch mark, and it looked like fatigue was a factor. Really missed his target there. He leaves a fastball that just leaks right middle. And Max Muncy, he punished that mistake. He cranks it out. The Dodgers take a 2-1 lead, and then Justin Turner, he grounds to third. So, like I was saying, it's nice to see Mookie Betts a little unsure of himself at the plate early on this year, not looking like Mookie Betts. He goes out there, and the M&M boys, Mookie and Muncie, they get it done in that inning. So I think it was very fitting to see Muncie and Mookie kind of break out of their slump. And like I said, they're not completely out of their slump, but to have some success and go deep in that same inning, I thought it was really poetic. But back to the comments, do you think Freeman should have had those throws from Muncie from Ryan W? They were tough plays, but I think when you're Freddie Freeman, he's a Gold Glove first baseman. Nathan Dang, what up? You can get a shout out for sure. I think those are plays that Freddie Freeman is capable of making, but I think that you can't say that, those are plays that he automatically should make. But EB asking for D-Mac, what do you truly think happens with Trey Turner as far as an extension, Kennedy Jackson? That's a really good question because I've gone back and forth. I think that this Dodgers organization, one thing that I know for sure is they have a great feel for talent. They know value, and they're not a team that's going to overpay. Like, for example, I don't think they felt comfortable giving Max Scherzer $130 million because they realize you don't want a pitcher of that age that towards the back end of that contract isn't going to age well. But I think, let's say Juan Soto hit the market, I don't think the Dodgers would have an issue giving him whatever he asks. When it comes to Trey Turner, they value his ability to play defense. And let's talk about that because he is a massive upgrade to Corey Seager at shortstop. He's a guy that is going to be playing shortstop for the duration of his career, and we'll see how his year pans out. Maybe the Dodgers want to see more from Gavin Lux. If they truly believe that Gavin Lux is a legitimate, viable contingency plan to Trey Turner, that they can slot into that shortstop position and not miss a beat big time, or at least have him be somewhat above average offensive player, they can get it done with the glove. Maybe the Dodgers say, hey, we use that money and we use it on starting pitching or another position of need. But another thing I know is that this Dodgers organization, they have put an emphasis on a premium shortstop for quite some time now. How many times have we heard the Dodgers? How many times did we hear the Dodgers mentioned in Francisco Lindor rumors, right? How many times have we heard the Dodgers linked to premium shortstops? So we know they offered Corey Seager a deal worth almost $300 million. And yes, I think Corey Seager would ultimately have slid over to third base during his career with the Dodgers. But I think the Dodgers want a premium shortstop, and I do think that they're going to make a competitive offer to Trey Turner. But I do think that at this point, I would be more surprised if he signed an extension than if he hit the market. I think he's going to hit the market, and when he does, all bets are off. And there's a lot of teams out there. There's a lot of rumors out there. Bob Nightingale, he wrote that he preferred signing with an East Coast team. He is from Florida. So I couldn't say that I would bet on the Dodgers extending Trey Turner, but that could change. You guys know my theory is maybe they sign him at the All-Star break and they make this big announcement with it. But hey, he's going to require big money, and he's going to put up big numbers, and he's going to get a contract over $250 million. I can guarantee you that. A little older, turns 29 in June, so he is older than a Correa or a Corey Seager, and there are going to be shortstops like Xander Bogaerts and potentially Carlos Correa, which I'm not a proponent of signing, but I know that a lot of Dodger fans, some are interested in him. Me, personally, that's a no for me, dog. But here we go. Turner, Field West, I like that. Mookie Betts, In-N-Out Stadium would be classic. Irony. Yeah, what do you guys think the Dodgers should name their who do you think the Dodgers should partner with to name their field? But Strider, I want Turner to be extended personally, D-Mac, but I'm going to take it one day at a time. Mookie will be fine. Bring back Puig. That's from Nando. Kenny, D-Mac, do you truly let's go down here. We got who's taking bets on a good season. Moose, I know it's really early in the season, but this team has looked strong. Absolutely, Moose. Montebello, SoCal in the house. Steven Toad, D-Mac, did I feel like a home game to you? I see all blue. Steven Tao, not just did it feel like a home game, I did see a sea of blue. Yes, there were some UPS jerseys in the audience, in the crowd there today, but based on those fan reactions, based on the volume of cheers whenever the Dodgers did something good, I think there was a lot of Dodger fans in the house as always. Bob Melvin, an old school kind of manager. Anthony Keene, I like Bob Melvin. I'll tell you that right now. I think it was a great hire from them, kind of putting an adult in the clubhouse down there in San Diego. But you look at the move with Martinez, maybe at that point you kind of take him out of the game when you look at his fatigue, and he left that one middle to Max Muncy. But let's jump to the bottom of the fifth inning. Julio Urias, he walks Kim. Then Grisham grounds to third for the first out. And then Nola, he fouls out to right. Great play by Mookie Betts. And that's another thing with Mookie Betts. He makes plays that are real big-time highlight plays, almost look routine. He covered so much ground to get to that foul ball, to know where the wall is out there in foul territory, and just make that play look routine. It shows you why he's a Gold Glove winning right fielder. And then with a runner on first, 2 outs, Urias gets Machado swinging to end the inning. He gets him to chase that changeup bottom of the zone. And that, to me, was my favorite sequence tonight from the Urias. I think Julio Urias challenging Manny Machado, who has been a hot hitter. He's hitting .351 on the year, to challenge him in that inning and set up that changeup to get him to chase outside of the zone. I was very, very impressed by that sequence there. You saw he misses with the fastball away, then he gets him to take a strike looking in the inside corner, then he misses with the changeup away, and then he pounds the zone with the fastball right there, then he gets him to foul off that slurve, and then he misses at the bottom of the zone with the changeup, and he goes back there with a similar pitch in the similar area, and he gets him to chase. So I think that was just a great pitch sequence by Julio Urias, not leaving him anything in the heart of the plate, getting him to chase outside of the zone. Well done, Julio. But we're going to jump to the top of the 7th inning. Betts draws the leadoff walk, and then Freddie Freeman down the way. He slaps a single to left field. So the Dodgers, they get Betts and Freddie Freeman on in the same inning, and that's something that I like to see from those two, that 1-2 punch at the top of the order, because we saw how much success that the Dodgers had in 2020 with Freeman and Seager. Well, I think that's a big upgrade when you get Freeman and Mookie Betts there in that spot. No slander to Corey Seager for what he did in the postseason, but Freddie Freeman, I just think that you're going to get a better at-bat and less boom or bust. And then Trey Turner, he reaches on an infield single. We talked about that, extending his on-base streak to 32 games. And then with the bases loaded, a 3-2 count, Max Muncy single to right center, scoring Betts and Freeman, making it 4-1 Dodgers. So at that point, it's still a 2-1 game. It's a tight game. Anything can happen. Max Muncy there on that 3-2 count, a fantastic at-bat there by Max Muncy. Just a little sneeze there, guys. No crazy coughing like that one time. A 3-2 count. Great job. Great way to battle there from Max Muncy. And I thought, to me, the 2 home runs right there were great from Mookie Betts, but you come for the Mookie Betts multi-home run game, and you stay there for the 2 RBI single from Max Muncy there in the 7th inning. I think it was equally as important when you consider how tight the game was at that point. Because if you look at that at bat, Max Muncy, he's up 2-0. He fouls off that sinker there to make it 1-2. Takes another ball. It's 3-1. And then he looks at that fastball to load the count. Fouls off the fastball. We have 3-2 count again. Loaded. The count's loaded again, and then he singles. So a nice piece of hitting there. And then Justin Turner, he follows that up with a little sacrifice fly that made it 5-1 Dodgers. And then Will Smith, he grounded out to short. So the Dodgers, they get 3 runs on 3 hits in that inning, and they really blow up again. The Dodgers, in that inning, another big inning, and that is one of the big themes this year for the Dodgers is these explosive innings. This year so far, that is the 10th time the Dodgers have scored 3 or more runs in an inning, and when you do that in a game, like Joe Davis said, you give yourself a chance to win at a 75% clip. So that is what makes this Dodgers lineup so dangerous. You think you can throw jabs with us for multiple innings, and all of a sudden, here comes that haymaker. I'd rather watch Mike Tyson than I would watch Floyd Mayweather, and this Dodger team, they can do it in a lot of different ways. They can beat you death by paper cuts, or they can bring out the nuclear warheads, or they can bring out the singles or the walks and attack you on the base pass. So this offense is so much more dynamic this season. Then the bottom of the 7th inning, Evan Phillips comes in. You saw what he was able to do. He gets Myers to fly out. Then he gets Kim to strike out swinging on that slider. And then he gets Grisham he strikes out Grisham there on that fastball. So when you have that filthy slider that he has, that you're talking 14 inches of horizontal break, one of the best sliders early on this season, and you're expecting that slider, and all of a sudden you see his velos up as well, that 95-mile-per-hour elevated fastball. I mean, they threw it right by him. So his ability to miss bats, very, very by the way, Gary A. Lugs for the future, please, casuals. Okay. Hey, I wouldn't be totally against that. The house that Vin Scully built, that's from Michael. I like that one. That's your name. Beach Ball Field from David P. I like that. Yeah, just give back the 99-cent store. 99-cent store field. Farmer John Field, a big comeback from Deborah Young. That was impressive. Machado is rolling. Yeah, that was definitely an impressive sequence there by Julio Urias. So jump into, and then so we jump to top of the 8th inning, and nothing doing for the 8th inning for the Dodgers. You got Lux grounded out. Taylor, he struck out swinging. Bellinger, he grounded second. Then in the bottom of the 8th inning, I thought Philip Bickford, he did a nice job. He gave that single to Nola. And you got Cronenworth to fly out, and then he got Machado swinging on that slider. So I thought Philip Bickford, he's a guy that he appeared in 48% of the games that he was in last season. So he was really a true rubber arm for the Dodgers. So, yes, a lot of talk is about Evan Phillips early on, but don't discount what Philip Bickford did last season. And then Vesia comes in after Dave Roberts came in to get Bickford after we thought we were going to saw Matt Beatty, and after we thought we were going to see Matt Beatty, and then Alfaro, he strikes out swinging, and Vesia, he just gets him swinging with that four-seam fastball. And the thing about Vesia, it's not like he's throwing 98, 99 or anything, but it's the electricity and the run he gets on that fastball and the way he can dot it, and 94 miles per hour is upstairs. Then top of the 9th inning, Mookie Betts gets his second bomb of the year, and this one on a sinker. So a little sinker there. Mookie Betts didn't sink enough, and he hits it out. And that was on a nice – so that's the other thing, too, with Mookie Betts. He hasn't really gotten himself in these great hitters counts. Right there, he was 3-1 count, had the green light, and Mookie Betts, he takes off on that sinker, and he hits his second home run of the night, second home run of the year, and that gave the Dodgers a 6-1 lead. And then you jump to the bottom of the ninth. David Price, he comes out. He gets the job done. Dodgers get the win, and you'll love to see it. Dodgers get the win, and tomorrow you got Tyler Anderson versus Yu Darvish. So, yeah, I think just the big takeaways tonight has to be Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts and Max Muncy getting it done and really coming alive in this Dodger team, winning again 10-3 on the season. Best record in all of Major League Baseball. They're up a game and a half on the Colorado Rockies. And hey, this National League West, look at the Padres, 9-6, Giants 9-5, Rockies 8-4. Very competitive division to start the year. But guys, it's Friday night. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Your Dodgers get the dub in San Diego. Tomorrow you got Yu Darvish versus Tyler Anderson. Mookie Betts is Marcus. Lynn Betts is now Mookie Betts once again. Max Muncy, the funky Muncy, snapping out of his funk. Urias, he battled tonight. Evan Phillips was filthy. Daniel Hudson came in. He did a nice job. And the Dodgers, they get the win. It's always nice to beat little brother down in Dodger Stadium South. But a couple more takes here, guys, and we're going to head out of this one. But thank you, D-Mac. Thanks, you Quack. Thanks, Rebecca. Stop doubting Mookie. He will always be there. It's from Michael Valentin. We got Diane Schroeder. Great job with the pitching staff. Absolutely. Vestia is so excited to get that guy. He definitely was. K Casino, $10. Appreciate you, my man. Doug, great show as always. Assuming they can't win the division or make the playoffs, how long before the Pods go back into rebuild mode? That's a really great question, because as much as we like to troll the Padres and have some fun at their expense, I do really respect how aggressive they are. And as long as Fernando Tatis Jr. can stay healthy, this Padres team, we know that they're not as adept at developing their talent as the Dodgers are. If you look up and down their roster, most guys acquire from other teams. But I do think that they will wave the white flag at some point down the line, but I still think at this point they're still really going for it. I think last year the big surprise was the San Francisco Giants. And you saw the Padres, they had a worse finish to their season than anyone in Major League Baseball. So I think if you're the Padres, it's really about getting Tatis Jr. back and about continuing to bolster the starting pitching. And I'm really interested to see how Bob Melvin is able to fare with these younger guys, if he's able to turn things around. And I think they're going to be a competitive team for at least 2-3 years. And I think that at some point they're going to realize that, look, you can't continue to just mortgage the future and give up some of your young prospects, and you can't always be in win-now mode. I think that's the thing that the Dodgers do so well, is they're able to combine developing prospects but holding on to guys that they should. I mean, how many teams wanted Cody Bellinger back in the day? How many teams wanted Corey Seager back in the day? How many teams wanted Clayton Kershaw back in the day in the Ned Colletti era, and the Dodgers said no? So really, it's about holding on to your Zaidi D-Mac, LFC or Galaxy. Man, I'll go LAFC. I like the black and gold. Go with the new bloods. Why not? D-Mac's always fire. Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys are the best, man. Friday night, thanks for rocking with me. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you, Dice Darg over on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Moose, all you guys. Yeah, we're going to be back all season long, but thanks for rocking with us. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you want to see us posting more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We'll be back with you Sunday. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.